Hello, everybody. So I wanted to talk about this because I'm getting heated about it. Now, it's kind of merging into this community at this point. So, all right. So, Foodie Beauty has been starting to use low carb for clicks and views and all this stuff. And then there's people within that community spreading misinformation about low carb and keto. But I have seen some low carb keto people in the Foodie Beauty space. So let's talk a little bit about this, please. All right. So we all know that Foodie Beauty is not who she says she is. Her actions do not speak truth. Because as we all know, actions speak louder than words. Well, her actions are speaking way louder than her words are letting us believe. She's been testing her sugars. She has diabetes, very, very rampant, dangerous, kidney damaging, organ failure type level diabetes. Or at least we're starting into organ failure, people. We're starting into it. Maybe some neurological things. I won't be surprised if she starts with neuropathy. Maybe I bet you she'll see this video and then she'll be like, oh, I woke up this morning and noticed I couldn't feel my feet or something. Or my feet felt strange, like weird tingly. I don't even know anymore, man. Do it, Foodie. Do it. Now that I told you not to do it, do it. Do it, I dare you. Do it. Get up tomorrow and be like, hey, so my diabetes is way worse than I thought because I have neuropathy. Anyways, the reason I'm getting heated is because there's people saying, oh, diabetics shouldn't fast. Now, I don't see the problem with 12 to 14 hours, 15 hours, maybe 16. The thing... she's not on insulin, she's not on Ozempic, she's not on any kind of medication. So what she really needs to do is take salt, like electrolytes. Like, Foodie, I'm not talking sodium, I'm talking salt. Sea salt, like the stuff you grind or stuff that's not colored pink, but actually pink in nature. Like it's like a pinkish color. You want that. Because when your insulin drops, and maybe you learned this from Dr. Berg, when your insulin drops, you become very shaky because you're also losing inflammation, you're losing, your sugars are dropping, everything's just changing. Your insulin's lowering again. So you're not going to feel good. Okay? So, take some electrolytes. Get Salah to pick you up some, this isn't honest, I'm not saying this if you actually really want to try and do this, even if it's just for a time, because we all know you're not going to stick with it. But even if it's just for a time, I want you to tell Salah, okay. But go tell Salah, pick me up some magnesium, potassium, and chloride. Pick me up like some kind of electrolyte powder. Like, Element is actually quite popular. I've noticed there's a lot of channels that are sponsored by them. Since I'm not monetized, I won't be sponsored, and I'm not going to become monetized and let sponsors come into my life. I want to start some kind of business. I'll talk more about that later when I actually have the wherewithal to start that. But anyways, I have a business idea. I haven't started it yet. Don't have anything set up yet, so we're not going to do that right now. But anyway, so Foodie, get him to get you some electrolyte drops. You can put it in your food. Get the plain ones. Get the plain ones, and then what you can do is you can put the electrolyte drops in water. It will taste a little bit salty, but don't put too much. You don't want to put too much. There might be even instructions on how to use it. You don't want to throw your electrolytes off. When you drop sugar, you need salt and fat to replace it, right? Now, I think you're doing good right now with the chicken, okay? Because of no gallbladder. You want to start easy with that. So chicken thighs, like it's still leaner than say roast or say like beef or whatever. So do that for now. Your chicken and your things like that. Here's what I'm seeing in the community though. People are telling her not to even intermittent fast. Why? Not even 15, 16 hours? That's dangerous. Is that really dangerous? Now, what I might suggest, if you still don't feel good taking salt, take like a spoonful, and I'm talking a small spoonful of peanut butter. Or something like a small, like one small juice box. To start, you're gonna feel like crap. And it's gonna feel like I had to do that for a time. Because when I would take the salt, I still didn't feel right. So I was like, when I was transitioning, I did not feel good. So I had to start slow and take a juice or a small gulp of something or peanut butter, something that had a bit of sugar in it to make me feel a little bit better. That is just how it works. You don't need to go all in with the sugar though. Don't drink a whole giant case of it. Have some juice. Like a one juice box, maybe, right? Or a couple crackers or something. Something to get the sugar back up, right? A couple crackers would actually be better because they don't stimulate the insulin right away because they're not sweet, right? Unless you have graham crackers or something. But, like, yeah, don't. Anyway. Actually, they probably would release insulin right away because of the cephalic insulin response, probably from once the amylase is released or whatever, but I don't know. Anyways, my point is, don't go crazy with the sugar. Now, if someone is making you do this, that's one thing. You know, you don't have to follow my suggestions, but it's just suggestions. There's so many people, oh, she shouldn't be doing this, diabetic coma. I read that diabetic coma will only happen if your sugars, I think, are above, like 500 or something like that. Which would be, like 20-something millimoles, I don't know. That's high. Yeah. No. She's nowhere close to that right now. And that was, what? Probably 2 or 3 years ago when I was first starting into keto and trying to understand diabetes a little more or something. Diabetic coma doesn't happen at 200, 300. You'd be surprised. Yeah. Now, if she was sick on top of it, like with a virus, I don't know, she's gonna feel like crap, although she's probably saying she does and she doesn't actually. Either that or she's not actually doing what she says she's doing. And here's why I think she's not actually doing what she says she's doing. She keeps waking up and claiming that her fasting blood sugars are high and she doesn't know why. They keep going up and up. She's acting like she doesn't know why. I have a theory. It's because she's eating keto probably during the day. And then when the cameras are off and whatever else, and she's not showing herself, she's not, you know what? She's getting junk crap, right? Let's say she does eat keto during the day, which we saw her not eating keto. But let's just say she did. Dude, she's not eating keto at night. I guarantee you, the moment she shuts that camera off, up until bedtime, she's eating on candy and chips and crap like that. And she says she doesn't know why her sugars are high. Well, honey, we know. Your fasting sugars are high because you're not keeping true to what your trying to let us believe. I don't want her to die. No one with the sane mind would want her to die. If anyone is saying that, go check yourself, as she says, because that's sick. If there's actually people out there wanting to watch her die, you're sick. You're sick. You need to be checked. Honestly. You have a problem. And if you hear some sounds in the background of my recording, it's because people are doing repairs and yeah. So, Foodie. I don't think you're actually doing this, or you're doing it, but then, like, you're still, like, at night, you're not actually. If you want to drop some weight so you can, travel again more easily and do that kind of stuff, you have to at least do it right, even if it's just for a time, right? You have to stay to it. Like, otherwise you're just going to keep ballooning. Okay? You want to get that insulin down. No, insulin is not going to fix it. For the people who keep saying, she needs insulin. No. She is 400 pounds, 400 plus pounds. That is not going to fix the insulin problem. Because you know what insulin does? It makes you store fat. Do you guys not know that? Clearly you don't know that. Now, my insulin, I think that with me, my fat probably gets stored a bit differently. I don't gain fat the same way that people do. My body's still at that resilient stage where it can't really, I don't gain weight very easily at all. Anyways, point being, insulin will not fix it. It'll just make her gain more and more and more. But it could also make her have hypos. When you have hypos, that means you have to eat more and more and more and more. So it's a vicious cycle. Guys, stop telling her to take insulin. You're going to kill her. That's going to kill her. She's not type 1, okay? She is not type 1. She is type 2 and has plenty of insulin. Obviously, she wouldn't keep gaining and gaining and gaining if she had plenty of insulin. Or if she didn't have insulin, rather. She has plenty. Too much. Type 1, when you don't have insulin, you lose. You drop in weight. My body is so good at keeping things homeostasis that I haven't gained weight. I think I'm just lucky. I just escaped out of luck. I don't blame anything but luck. Because, I've got overweight people in my family. I think even my grandfather on my dad's side is overweight. He's got some weight going on there, from what I can remember. I think even I'm not sure about my grandmother, my actual grandmother on that side. I don't know if she was overweight or not. I don't know. Maybe on my dad's side of the family, that doesn't affect us until we get a little bit older, like 40, 50, 60, right? And I'm only in my 20s, right? So I'm approaching 30. This woman's 39, approaching 40. Foodie. You know what? I don't really, at the end of the day, though, I don't care. I don't care what you do. Do it or don't do it. Take my advice or don't. Take Berg's advice or don't. Take anyone else's advice or don't. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you know what you're doing, right? If you know why your sugars are going up and up and up. You do. You do. You know what you're up to. You do. So, stick to this or not, I don't see 15, 16-hour fast being bad. I really don't. I don't. Take some salt. Make some bone. When you get the chicken's food, you use the bones and make bone broth out of it. Cook the bone broth. Right? Cook it. Cook the bone broth. Make bone broth out of them. You could sip on that during your fast. You don't even have to do a straight. You don't have to do. I mean, it's not really considered a fast, I guess, at that point, because you're basically consuming fat and protein. But if you don't want to eat actual food to spike it, don't add anything to the bone broth but salt. Okay, just boil the bones, and then add some salt to it when you're done. Oh, the best concoction. You don't even have to be sick to enjoy that. It's very, 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 very low impact on your insulin. Very low impact. Gives you electrolytes, gives you minerals, gives you nutrients, helps you balance out and give you fat so you can continue to have energy while you're, cutting back on the amount of food you eat as a whole. It's the perfect way to, keep your insulin low while still consuming some amount of proteins, fats, and minerals. Notice I didn't say carbs. Only eat sugar when you feel like the salt and the electrolytes are not enough. Eric Berg even mentions taking electrolytes, okay? Do this or don't do it. I don't care. I don't care either way. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to affect my life. It's not going to affect my overall health because I only know what I need to do and you know what you need to do. And you know what you're doing wrong and you know what you're doing right. Okay? Look into Jason Fung some more. Jason Fung's a nephrologist and he's also, he also studies up on this kind of stuff. Look into Eric Westman. Look into, just all of them. Guys, I wanted to just upload this real and raw because, I didn't want to even put the intro. I really want to get this out there because I'm sick and tired of the misinformation people are spreading about fasting. It's one thing to fast and not taking anything. I think taking in absolutely nothing for a diabetic is dangerous. Don't do that. I remember that one day I woke up nearly about to puke. I had to take in something. I was like, no, I can't do this. But guess what? Foodie. You need to eat eggs, beef, chicken, butter, bacon, whatever. You don't need the sugars. Use sugars as, use a small piece of something as backup. Something that can get your sugar up a little bit so that you're not feeling yucky even with the salt. Okay, because salt sometimes isn't enough. And that was the case for me. And I'm like, I need to take a little bit of peanut butter or something at least. Or have a little bit of chocolate or something to get my sugar back up a little bit. And it always helped. And I was able to moderate it just enough that I didn't go overboard. And I am now 4 years in. I am doing amazing. I had a little bit too much salt. And now I'm having some adverse effects from it today. Oh my goodness. You can't have too much salt. You don't feel good. But I'm learning as I go along, right? So, overall though, I do feel good. I feel, I definitely don't feel malnourished at all. I don't feel malnourished. Malnourished doesn't feel good. So foodie, take my advice or don't take my advice. So Dr. Berg is great, I guess, for beginners. Don't do the 7 to 10 cups of veggies. Foodie, you have no gallbladder. You don't want a suction on your bowel removed too. Don't do that. I can appreciate the fact she doesn't eat vegetables. I actually applaud her for that. She barely eats vegetables. She doesn't like them. She doesn't like them. Foodie, that's actually instinct. Your body's telling you, we don't want this. We want meat and we want fat. We want protein and fat. That is what your body is telling you. And that is why, despite, everything you say, whether it's true, whether it's not, you have the palate that I did, right? I did not like the veggies. I just wanted the sweet things or the salty, fatty things, right? And that is what your body wants. That is what most people want. That is what most humans in nature want, right? So, if you find this video, Foodie, just at least take it in as food for thought. Take it in as food for thought, okay? Don't I want you to at least understand that much. You want what a human wants. Humans want fat and protein. They don't want freaking stalks and stems and leaves and seeds. Bird food. Rabbit food. Really? It's why you like a lot of chips. Because deep down, you want salty, fatty food. Chips aren't the best way. No. But you want salty, fatty goodness. Chips kind of mimic that without actually being that. But it's also why you eat chocolate. Because at times, you need, when your sugars drop, sometimes salty things aren't enough. You want a little bit of that extra hit of the sweetness to kind of get the sugar back up. But really what you want is things like bacon. What is that bacon? Shoulder, was it? No. Baby back bacon or whatever it was called. That might be easier on your gallbladder if you make that. Eat that, and it's like round. It's round bacon. Oh yeah, you can't eat bacon. Shoot. Well, maybe they make beef bacon that's more lean. Eggs are. I don't think eggs would be too bad for her if she keeps it to 1 or 2. I'm being mindful of the no gallbladder. Chicken. I know you make beef sausage. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how she could do this because she doesn't eat pork anymore. I bet you when she comes back to Canada though, because she'll have to at some point. She will be eating bacon. Yeah, she might be eating bacon when she comes back. Girl, you want salty fatty. That's why you like cheese. That's a good start is cheese, but you want it to be cheese that you can digest. There's some cheeses out there that you can't. And it might not always be because no gallbladder. It might also be because you're allergic to the casein and the whey and the lactose. I don't know. Only you know. You need to figure out what you know you can handle and what you know you can't. You know what you handle, right? With no problems. Okay? So, you want salty and fatty. Eat that meat. Carnivore would be probably the best diet for you. There are so many people that will tell you hormones need carbs. They do not. You know why they think this? Because cravings get crazy during your menstrual cycle. So they think that it will help the mood and stabilize the mood and stave off any cravings. But you know what? All that does is ramp up your sugars again. And when your sugars were at a decent level before, and then they got ramped up, so don't listen to the people, oh, you need carbs. You don't need carbs. Maybe to start out, you might need to be slow with this. But what you really want is salty, fatty food. You want meat. You want bacon. If you like that crunch, I think they make beef bacon where you are, don't they? So you could have beef bacon. I thought there was something called beef bacon. I don't know. Maybe that isn't a thing. I don't know, but you could have beef bacon or whatever it is, beef sausage. I know she's said something about beef sausage before. Beef sausage, your cheese, your brown beef, or lamb or whatever, lamb shanks. I don't know if you've ever tried those, but do that. Or don't. Either way. Or you can make cheese chips, Foodie. You could put them in, you put them in your oven for like 5 minutes. And it gets hard, I think, and crispy. You can eat that like chips. There's your chip fix. You didn't even put anything bad in it. It's just cheese. There's a certain temperature you have to make it at. And there's brown butter bites. I hear they're actually kind of sweet, but they're butter. That might be a little bit iffy, but you wouldn't be able to... Yeah, you'd have to be careful with brown butter bites. That's a new thing for me. I only found out about those like probably a few months ago. I think was it Lisa Wiedemann? You got to look into Lisa Wiedemann too. Look into Dr. Kiltz, Lisa Wiedemann, Eric Westman, all these people, Foodie. And I really think, even if it's just for a time, you'll see something with it. Hungry Fat Chick did. She did. I don't know why she started making all these excuses all of a sudden, because I live in a disability, in an apartment especially for disabilities, people with disabilities. I'm on disability right now. I make the salary of a freaking kid probably in the 90s would make. Not even. Like a teenager from the 90s with a job, like the jobs that they had. Okay, maybe not quite that. Maybe a little more than that. Maybe a little more than that. But it's a joke. It's a joke. But yeah, Foodie. So you need to look into that. And Robert Kiltz is on TikTok. Maybe you've seen him. I don't know about Dr. Berg. Yeah, I know you saw Dr. Berg. But Robert Kiltz is another good one. Lisa Wiedemann. Maria Emmerich, her approach actually might help you a little bit more, because she's more protein than fat. I don't want you to completely eliminate fat. No one should. No human should. You crave the fat. You want the fat. Like, I know when you crave these things, Foodie, you crave fat. And when you're eating cheese, that is the closest thing you can get to being keto. And I applaud you for eating cheese. Keep eating the cheese, okay? Keep doing that. I know, like, even if it can't be too much, eat the cheese. Eat the cheese, eat eggs, eat chicken, eat beef. Eat beef bacon if that's a thing. Make cheese chips. Do all these things, Foodie, that you know you can have. You know you crave fat. That is why you get these salty cravings. That's why we see you eating chips so much, because it's kind of emulating that. Anyways, guys, no intro music, because I just want to really get this out there before I go nuts. All right, I want to get this off my chest. I have another video that I promise you I'll edit it and put it out later today. I promise with all my heart. And I will see you guys in the next video. Later.